gonna say.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I promise CJ was going first.
Hey, promises are meant to be broken.
They are meant to be broken. All right, we'll open up for questions here. Front middle. Warren.
Dillon, nice game. How did it feel to get the win? And you came off the field at the end. You were angry, and what was that? What happened at the end for you?
I love to win, and I hold myself to one of the highest standards. I think as a person, and I definitely didn't even think the Huskies should have been in the game with us. I feel like the way the defense played and small mistakes by the offense and the way we played, the game wasn't supposed to be close. And only at the end, I'm not sure what number it was, but it was a DB that came over my head that kind of kneed me, and I wasn't okay with that at all. So that was my only reason for being mad. As far as the team win, I loved it. It was one of the things this was the first time I ever seen people run onto the field like that. That was crazy. So that explains that.
Front left back.
Can you maybe explain just the emotions of seeing the missed field goal and then obviously Oregon scoring the game-winning touchdown and how things just transpired after that?
It was a big roller coaster, man, honestly. We always, try to stay composed and everything like that. Coach brought us up on the sideline. Was like, look, we've always been wanting something like this, and we've been practicing and playing for a game just like this. So we knew what to do, and we had to execute it like we did. And offense showed up, so.
Back right, Steve.
Dillon, can you take us through the 3rd and 11 there in overtime, the route you ran there and just to get it to you, and then just it feel like today kind of continued on from the last two where you were able to kind of get in some spots where Justin kept finding you?
I was playing in the slot. The nickel was over top of me, and he was trying to wall me off like kind of last couple games since Stanford. He was trying to wall me off, and I just kind of gave him a move and went behind him. So he turned and thought I went the other way. So I just kind of sat in the hole, and that's how the number 1 NFL draft pick found me.
Dillon, you sat there, what was it, 3 weeks ago after Stanford, that loss, and you said it won't define us. It won't get in the way. We'll still be focused against Cal. What's the mindset like coming off, a win like today, being able to keep this focus, obviously heading up into Pullman, which is a difficult place to play?
I believe this is a different type of culture we're building around here. We're all about winning and getting better each day. We knew we had to come out and win for our fan base, for ourselves, especially 2 years ago, the way we lost at home. We definitely knew we had to come out. But as far as continuing, I think the team has definitely took a step up from the past teams in the years, and we're much different.
Right here, AJ. Front, middle.
Jalen, you guys did a pretty solid job against some pretty tough running backs today. What was the key to keeping those guys under control?
Really just setting edges. It was a big thing Coach was always harping on all week, setting edges. A lot of people get, pushed out of bounds and stuff like that, and then Gaskin's always gassing them. So that was a big thing for us this week is make sure we set the edges and make them fall back and make them dance around so people can rally with the ball. So I feel like we did a pretty good job. I feel like we still had a couple plays where we could probably shut them down a little bit better, but it was a good improvement. I love to see the defense eat like that.
Back right, Steve.
Dillon, do you feel like that secondary was keying in on you after what they've seen the last couple of weeks and feel like you were able to kind of get in some of the same spots that you've been able to find the last few weeks?
They definitely were trying to, I would say, target me. I could see it, and just by going through the game and them trying to get in my head and talk to me and knock me off my rhythm. They still were a good group, but I feel like I'm just the type of player. I'm not going to try to let anybody try to hold me back or stop me. So I still have to contribute to our team and help us win.
Front left, Matt.
Travis, the run game was pretty evident and pretty important for this one for you guys early on. What was the running like against the Husky defense? And just can you maybe speak about your running in the second half? You opened up pretty big 2 drives.
Yeah, I give all the credit to my linemen. Of course, I call them Moses because as a group because they just love to open it up like the Red Sea. And, you'll give them all the credit, and I'll just hit the hole as hard as I could and, just put my head down and got me my yards.
Second middle, Jason.
Real different culture now, Jalen. You guys are, you're going to possibly be knocking on the door of the top 10.
Yeah.
Tough loss to Stanford, but you really outplayed them. You win a road game against Cal. You win this game. How much more are you guys ready to deal with adversity now? Because you're going to Pullman, they beat you 3 times in a row. Adversity, how do you guys handle it now?
I feel like we've been leaning on adversity. It's something before that we used to run from, and now I feel like we're leaning on it. We kind of needed to honestly make us better. So I feel like our culture and everything is entirely changed. Week by week, we're getting better and better. And I feel like our attitude has improved so much over the years, and it showed up.
Front middle, Tyson.
Jalen, you were here for this game 2 years ago, and I know you've been with the team putting in the work over the last 2 years to get back to this point. But did you realistically think it, like 2 years later, you guys could be back in this position, playing this level?
Definitely. We knew after the past couple of games we played them, it always left a sour taste in our mouth, and we always knew that it was going to never happen again. And before the game, a couple of players got up, talked to the team and everything, and I could just tell the look in the eyes and everybody on the team that we had a different, demeanor and everything like that, and I could tell everybody was locked in and ready to go. So all we had to do was go and show up and play as hard as we could, as long as we can. So.
Same on the left, Dirk.
Dillon, after CJ had that fumble against Stanford, obviously a tough thing, how cool was it to see him kind of get the game-deciding touchdown there?
I always say things happen for a reason, and we were just out there sitting with CJ, before he came in. But I definitely was just looking at him and remembering the Stanford game and how bad it was. And he was talking about how at the end people were trying to pick him up, and they definitely weren't trying to pick him up at the Stanford game, were they? No, but things change when we win. But I was happy for him. I definitely was.
Back right, Steve.
Jalen, you take us through the 4th and 1 when you see it looks like they were going to try to come up pretty quick and get the snap and then fumbled it, and then holding them on that next one to the field goal attempt to the end. Seems like those last 3 drives, the last one they get to the 3-yard line, but you force the field goal.
Yeah, I looked down. I just came off the edge, and I looked down and seen the ball, so I put my forearm in somebody. I don't know who it was, but I was just trying to make sure they was going backwards. That was the only thing. So that was the last thing I remember, and then going from there, we had to line up every time on defense and play one play at a time. We knew that they were going to try to get some good drives on us, some shots on us and stuff like that. They have a good quarterback. They have good receivers. So we knew we had to just play as locked down as we could and do what we've been always planning to do.
James, you still want a question? Last question right here, James. The other guy's waiting.
Travis, can you just walk us through the 4th and 1? What's going through your mind there? Where obviously you guys were quite aggressive. Coach talked about that, but when it's on you there on 4th and 1, you get 8 yards. Walk us through the play. What was going through your mind?
Just get the first down. That's always through my mind when it's 4th and 1, 3rd and 1. Always short distance. Just get the first down. If you want to stay on the field, you have to get the first down. Simple as that.
All right, we're good. Thanks guys. Thanks, guys.